Hello there, and welcome to Quiet Wisdom. The modern world is complex. It is full of screens, notifications, and electricity. But tonight, we are going to turn all of that off. We are going to return to the simplest way of life. Take a moment to settle in. Listen to the rain falling against the window. Let your shoulders drop. Unclench your jaw. Feel the weight of your body sinking into the bed. Tonight, we are going back 20,000 years. We are traveling to the Ice Age. We will walk across the frozen tundra, find shelter in a deep limestone cave, and build the first fire. We will chip stone into tools, paint memories on the walls, and sleep under a pile of warm furs while the glacier winds blow outside. You do not need to hunt. You do not need to survive. The work is done. You are safe in the cave. And just before we begin, if these quiet journeys help you find rest, consider liking and subscribing to the channel. It helps us keep the fire burning. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The Glacier's Edge. We are leaving the cities of steel and glass. We are leaving the roads of asphalt. We are leaving the noise of the machine age behind. We are traveling back, deep into the timeline of the Earth. We are going to the Pleistocene, the Ice Age. It is a time of silence. The world is quieter than it will ever be again. There are no engines. There are no metal tools clashing. There is only the sound of the wind and the ice. You are standing on a ridge. Before you lies a landscape of absolute whiteness, the tundra. It stretches out to the horizon, a rolling ocean of snow and frozen earth. To the north, you can see the wall, the glacier. It is a cliff of ice, 300 feet high. It glows with a pale electric blue light. It is a river of frozen water that moves inches a year. It is the dominant force of the world. The wind blows off the ice. It hits your face. It is a biting, sterile cold. It tightens the skin on your cheeks. It freezes the moisture in your nose instantly. It tastes of nothing but pure oxygen and frost. But you are not cold. You are wearing the technology of survival. You are wrapped in furs. Heavy, dense reindeer skins. The fur is turned inward against your body. The hollow hairs of the reindeer trap your body heat, creating a warm layer of air next to your skin. On your feet, you wear boots made of mammoth hide, lined with dried grass. They are soft. They grip the snow. You begin to walk. Crunch, crunch, crunch. The sound of your footsteps is loud in the silence. The snow is dry and packed hard. It does not slush. It compresses. You are walking away from the ice. You are heading for the shelter. You are looking for the limestone cliffs that rise up from the valley floor. You walk through a grove of dwarf birch trees. They are small and twisted, stripped of their leaves by the winter. They rattle in the wind. Click, clack. You see a herd of animals in the distance. Woolly mammoths. They look like moving hills. Shaggy, mountains of dark brown hair. Their tusks curl like the moon. They move slowly, sweeping the snow away with their trunks to find the dried grass underneath. They do not notice you. You are just another animal on the plain. You reach the cliffs. The stone is gray and weathered. It absorbs the faint warmth of the sun. You look for the opening, the dark mouth in the rock. You find it, the cave. It is an archway of stone, half hidden by a snowdrift. You step over the threshold. The transition is immediate. The wind stops. The howling gale that has been pushing against your back suddenly vanishes. You are inside the earth. The air here is still. It is cooler than a house, but much warmer than the frozen world outside. It stays the same temperature all year round. 50 degrees. Constant It smells of damp stone. It smells of minerals. It smells of the bear that slept here last winter. A faint, musky scent that has mostly faded. You walk deeper. The light from the entrance fades. You are walking into the gloom. Your eyes adjust. The cave is not empty. It is a cathedral of rock. Stalactites hang from the ceiling like stone icicles. The floor is covered in soft, sandy dirt. You find the hearth. It is a circle of black stones in the center of the floor. It is the place where the fire lives. It is cold now. The ash is old. You need to wake it up. You kneel down. You put down your pack. You take out your tools. You are going to perform the miracle of the Paleolithic. You are going to create a star in the darkness. You gather the tinder, dried moss, fluff from the seed heads of plants, birch bark, peeling and paper thin. You make a small nest of this material in the center of the stones. You take out your fire drill. It is a straight stick of hardwood and a flat board of softwood. You place the tip of the stick into a small notch in the board. You place your palms together around the stick. You begin to rub your hands back and forth. Swish, 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 swish. The stick spins. It drills into the wood. Friction. You push down. You spin faster. Your shoulders burn with the effort. You can feel the heat building up at the point of contact. A wisp of smoke rises. It smells of burning wood. It is a sharp, acrid smell. You keep spinning. You do not stop. If you stop, the heat dies. Spin, spin, spin. A tiny pile of black dust forms around the drill. It is hot dust, and then a single, glowing red ember appears. It is the size of a grain of sand, a tiny eye of heat. You stop drilling. You carefully tip the ember into the nest of tinder. You lift the nest to your face. You breathe. A long, gentle exhale. You feed oxygen to the spark. The smoke gets thicker. The ember grows brighter. It turns orange. The tinder crackles. And then, whoosh, flame. A yellow tongue of fire bursts from the nest. You quickly place small twigs on top, then larger sticks, then a log. The fire takes hold. It begins to roar softly. The light pushes back the shadows. It illuminates the walls of the cave. The grey stone turns warm orange. The temperature rises. You sit back on your heels. You hold your hands out to the flames. The heat hits your palms. It travels up your arms. It melts the frost on your eyebrows. You are the master of the element. Outside, the blizzard is picking up. You can hear the wind moaning at the mouth of the cave. Woo! But it cannot reach you. You have created a microclimate. You unroll your sleeping furs. You lay a heavy bear skin on the sandy floor near the fire. The fur is thick and black. You sit on it. It is soft. It cushions you from the hard ground. You look into the fire. The flames are dancing. Blue at the base, yellow at the tip. They are hypnotic. This is the first television, the first cinema. For 100,000 years, humans have sat exactly where you are sitting, staring at this same chemical reaction. It calms the mind. It triggers a deep, ancestral safety. If the fire is burning, the predators will stay away. If the fire is burning, you will not freeze. You watch the wood turn to charcoal. You watch the charcoal turn to ash. The smoke drifts up toward the ceiling. It finds a crack in the rock and disappears, carrying your thoughts with it. You feel a heaviness in your body. The walk through the snow was hard. Your legs are tired. But now, the rest begins. You are grounded. You are deep inside the mountain. Miles of rock are above your head. You are in the safest place on Earth. The Ice Age is just a story happening outside. Inside, there is only the warmth. You lie back on the fur. You pull another skin over you. You are a sandwich of warmth. You listen to the crackle, pop, hiss. You listen to the wind outside. The contrast makes you sleepier. You are the first human. You are the only human. The world is empty, and you are safe. Rest by the fire. Rest in the stone. Sleep. Chapter 2. The Stone and the Edge. The fire is established. The yellow tongues of flame are licking at the dry birch logs, consuming the wood, releasing the solar energy stored within the tree for decades. The heat radiates outward, pushing back the damp chill of the cave, creating a hemisphere of warmth that encompasses you. You are sitting on the thick reindeer fur. The storm outside has become a distant, rhythmic droning, a backdrop to the intimacy of the shelter. You are warm, you are safe. But the hands of the prehistoric human are rarely idle. In a world without machines, your hands are the only technology you possess. And to survive, your hands need help. They need something harder than bone, sharper than a tooth, and more durable than wood. They need stone. You reach into your leather satchel. It is made of ibex hide, tough and scarred. You pull out a heavy, dark object, the node. It is a lump of flint, or perhaps chert. It is the size of a grapefruit. On the outside, it looks like a rough, chalky potato. It has a cortex, a white limestone skin that hides the glass inside. It feels cold and heavy in your palm. It is a piece of the Earth's skeleton, formed millions of years ago in the sediment of a vanished ocean. You place it on your thigh, which is protected by a thick pad of leather. You reach back into the bag. You pull out the striker, the hammer stone. This is a river stone, granite or quartzite. It is round, smooth, and incredibly dense. It fits perfectly into the curve of your right hand. It is scarred with thousands of tiny white marks from previous strikes. It is the tool that makes tools. We are going to engage in the oldest craft of humanity, flint knapping. This is not a random banging of rocks. It is a game of physics. It is a game of angles and shock waves. You inspect the core. You turn it over in your hands. You are looking for a platform, a flat surface where you can land a blow. You are reading the stone. You are looking for the grain, the flaws, the potential. You find a spot. You visualize the flake that is hiding inside the rock, waiting to be released. You raise the hammerstone. You take a breath. You hold it. You strike. Click. It is a sharp, high-pitched sound. A sound of sudden violence contained in a single point. The hammerstone hits the edge of the platform. The energy transfers from your arm into the hammer, into the flint. A shock wave travels through the stone. It moves in a cone shape, a Hertzian cone. The stone cannot resist the force. It yields. It fractures. Snap. A flake of flint flies off. It lands in the dust at your feet. You pick it up. You hold it to the firelight. It is beautiful. It is translucent at the edges, glowing with a smoky gray light. It has the shape of a shell, a conchoidal fracture. Ripples of force are frozen in the surface of the stone, like ripples in a pond. But most importantly, it is sharp. You run your thumb carefully near the edge. You do not touch the edge itself. If you touched it, you would bleed. Freshly knapped flint is sharper than a surgical scalpel. It tapers down to a single molecule in width. It can cut through hide, through meat, through wood, with zero resistance. You have created an edge. You have created a knife, where before there was only a rock. You put the flake aside. You return to the core. You strike again. Click. Another flake falls. Click. Another. This is the rhythm of the Pleistocene. Before the rhythm of the clock, before the rhythm of the engine, there was the rhythm of the stone. Strike. Turn. Assess. Strike. Turn. Assess. It is a slow, methodical process. It requires total concentration. You cannot think about the hunt tomorrow. You cannot think about the cold. You must think about the angle. If you hit too hard, the stone shatters. If you hit too soft, the stone bruises. If you hit at the wrong angle, the flake breaks in half. You must be precise. You are peeling the stone like a fruit. You are removing the outer skin, the cortex, to reveal the high-quality glass inside. The pile of waste, the debitage, grows at your feet, razor-sharp chips of stone. They tinkle when they fall on each other, a sound like broken glass. The smell of the work fills the air. It is a strange smell. When you strike flint against flint, it releases a scent of ozone. It smells like gunpowder. It smells like lightning. It is the smell of friction. You are shaping the core into a specific tool, a hand axe, the teardrop shape, the multi-tool of the ancient world. You work around the edges. You create a jagged zigzag line. But the hammerstone is too crude for the final work. It is too powerful. You need something softer. You put down the riverstone. You pick up a piece of antler, the billet. It is the base of a reindeer antler. It is dense, but it has a slight give. It absorbs some of the shock. It allows you to grab the edge of the stone and pull the flake off, rather than crushing it. This is soft hammer percussion. You hold the hand axe in your left hand. You hold the antler in your right. You strike the edge. Thok. The sound is different. It is duller, softer. A long, thin flake peels off the face of the axe. It travels halfway across the stone. This is thinning. You are making the tool light. You are making it streamlined. Thok, peel, thok, peel. The motion is repetitive. It is soothing. You watch the object change. It stops looking like a lump of rock and starts looking like a piece of art. It has symmetry. It has balance. You turn it over and over. You look for the high spots, the lumps that need to be removed. You find a ridge. You set up the platform. You grind the edge slightly with a sandstone to strengthen it. You strike. The ridge disappears. The surface is smooth. You feel a profound sense of satisfaction. In the modern world, we are disconnected from the things we use. We buy a plastic knife from a store. We do not know where it came from. We do not know who made it. But here, in the cave, you are the manufacturer. You are the engineer. You understand this object down to its atomic structure. You hold the finished hand axe. It fits perfectly in your grip. It was made for your hand. It is an extension of your body. It is heavy, but balanced. It feels potent. With this tool, you can butcher a mammoth. You can sharpen a spear. You can cut branches for the fire. You are no longer a defenseless animal shivering in the dark. You are a tool maker. You place the axe on the fur beside you. It gleams in the firelight, a masterpiece of grey stone. But the work is not quite done. You need a smaller tool, a scraper. You pick up one of the large flakes you knocked off earlier. It has a sharp edge, but it is too thin. It will break. You need to retouch it. You take a small tool, a pressure flaker. It is a piece of deer antler tine set into a wooden handle. It looks like a thick pencil. You hold the flake in your palm, protecting your hand with a piece of leather. You press the tip of the antler against the edge of the flint. You push hard. Crunch. A tiny, microscopic chip pops off. You move the antler a millimeter to the right. You push again. Crunch. You are serrating the edge. You are making it steep and strong. This requires immense focus. You are working on the scale of millimeters. Your breathing slows down to a crawl. You breathe in. You push. You breathe out. The world narrows down to the point of the antler. The fire warms your back. The shadows dance on the cave wall. But you do not see them. You only see the edge. Push. Chip, push, chip. You create a perfect, steep angle. This tool will be used to scrape the fat off hides, to make leather, to make clothes. It is a humble tool, but essential. You finish the scraper. You test the edge with your thumb. It bites. It is ready. You put the tools away. You place the hammerstone, the antler billet, and the pressure flaker back into the satchel. They clink together softly. Now, you must clean. The floor is covered in lithic scatter. Thousands of razor-sharp shards. You cannot sleep here. You would cut yourself. You take a wing, a dried wing of a goose or a swan. It is a natural broom. You sweep the area around the fire. Swish, swish. You gather the sharp chips into a pile. You scoop them up with a piece of bark. You carry them to the back of the cave, to the waste pile. You return to the hearth. The sand is clean. The workspace is clear. The craft is finished. You sit back on the furs. You stretch your arms. Your shoulders are stiff from the tension of the striking. You roll your neck, crack. You feel the fatigue of the concentration. It is a mental tiredness. Your brain has been calculating angles and physics for hours. Now, it wants to stop. You look at the fire. It has burned down a little. The logs have broken apart, revealing a core of glowing red charcoal. You take a branch of dry pine. You toss it onto the coals. Hiss. Pop. Sparks fly up. The fresh wood catches. A bright yellow flame licks up, illuminating the cave roof. You watch the smoke rise. It curls and twists. It finds the draft. It flows along the ceiling of the cave toward the entrance. You follow it with your eyes. The smoke is gray. The rock is gray. You feel a sense of timelessness. This cave has been here for 1,000,000 years. The water carved it. The bears used it. Now you are using it. You are a guest in the mountain. You pick up the hand axe again, just to hold it. It is cold now, cooling down from the heat of your hands. It feels like a talisman, a symbol of order. You have taken the chaos of the rock and turned it into the order of the tool. You place it near your head, within easy reach. You settle into the furs. The reindeer skins are deep and soft. You sink into them. You are wearing a tunic of soft leather. It is warm. You feel the connection to the animals. The reindeer who gave the fur. The deer who gave the antler. The goose who gave the wing. You are surrounded by the gifts of the tundra. Outside, the wind is still blowing. You can hear it moaning through the cracks in the cliff face. It sounds lonely. It sounds cold. But the sound only makes the cave feel warmer. You are in the golden circle of the firelight. Beyond the light, the cave stretches back into the dark. Deep tunnels, underground rivers, secrets. But you do not need to explore them tonight. You stay in the light. You listen to the fire. Crackle. Snap. Hiss. It is speaking a language you understand. It is the language of safety. Your eyelids feel heavy. The light of the fire is becoming a blur. You watch the shadows on the wall. They flicker. They look like animals running, like mammoths, like bison, like deer. The first cinema. Your mind begins to drift. You think about the stone, the core, the flake, the edge. You visualize the shock wave traveling through the rock, a cone of force. It is a clean, perfect physics. Your thoughts become like the flakes. You detach them. Click. A worry falls away. Click. A plan falls away. Click. A memory falls away. You are napping your own mind. You are removing the cortex. You are revealing the core. The core is silence. The core is sleep. The fire is warm on your face. Your hands are relaxed. Your fingers curl, remembering the grip of the hammerstone. But the grip is loose now. You are holding nothing. You are just a body resting on the earth. The stone is hard, but the fur is soft. The contrast supports you. You breathe in the smell of the smoke and the dust. It is the smell of home. You are the first human. You are the last human. You are alone, and you are safe. The tool is made. The work is done. The stone sleeps. Rest in the cave. Rest in the craft. Sleep. Chapter 3. The Hearth. The sharp, percussive clicking of the flintstones has ceased. The chips of grey rock have been swept away into the shadows. The tools, the antler billet, the hammerstone, the pressure flaker, are tucked away in the leather satchel, resting against the cool wall of the cave. The work of the hands is finished. Now, the work of the eyes begins. You are sitting cross-legged on the thick pile of reindeer furs. Your spine is curved gently, relaxed. Your hands rest on your knees, palms open to the heat. In front of you is the hearth. It is a simple circle of stones. River rocks, hauled up from the valley floor, arranged to contain the energy. Inside this circle lives the miracle, the fire. To the modern mind, fire is a utility. It is something hidden inside a furnace, or clicked into existence with a plastic lighter. But here, in the depth of the Ice Age, fire is not a tool. It is a companion. It is a pet. It is a god. You watch it. It is burning logs of dwarf birch and Scots pine, wood scavenged from the edge of the tundra. The wood is dry. It accepts the flame willingly. Let us look closely at the anatomy of the fire. At the base, where the wood touches the bed of coals, the flame is blue, a deep, transparent azure. This is the hottest part. It is the point of transformation, where the solid matter of the tree turns into gas. It does not flicker. It burns with a steady, intense pressure. Above the blue, the flame turns orange, brighter, more chaotic. It dances, it twists, it licks the air, searching for oxygen. And at the very tips, the flame turns yellow, then white. It releases sparks. Tiny, glowing stars that float up into the darkness of the cave roof and vanish. You listen to the language of the wood. The pine logs are resinous. They snap and pop. A sudden, sharp sound, like a twig breaking. It is the sound of sap boiling, expanding and bursting the wood cells. The birch logs are quieter. They hiss, a soft, sibilant whisper. The paper-like bark curls up, turns black, and dissolves into grey ash. The heat hits your face. It is a physical pressure. It feels like a warm hand pressing against your skin. It dries the moisture from your lips. It warms the air in your nostrils. You lean forward. You add a small branch to the fire. You place it carefully. You do not just throw it. You treat the fire with respect. You place the wood across the center, feeding the heart. The flames jump up to greet the new fuel. They wrap around the branch. They claim it. You settle back. You look around the cave. The light of the fire transforms the space. During the day, the cave was a grey, shadowy hole. But now, at night, lit by the dancing flames, it is a palace of amber and gold. The walls are made of limestone, sedimentary rock, laid down millions of years ago when this land was a warm, tropical sea. The firelight catches the texture of the stone. It highlights the bumps and the ridges. It casts long, moving shadows that stretch up to the ceiling. The shadows are alive. They expand and contract with the breath of the fire. You look at a stalactite hanging from the roof. It is a cone of stone, formed by water dripping for 10,000 years. It glitters. The water on its tip catches the orange light. It looks like a jewel suspended in the dark. The cave feels small now. The darkness of the back of the cave, the deep tunnels that lead into the mountain, is a wall. The light pushes against it, but cannot penetrate far. This creates a sense of intimacy. The universe has shrunk. It is no longer a vast, endless tundra of ice. It is a room. a room 20 feet wide, defined by the reach of the light. You are in the golden circle. Inside this circle, the temperature is 60 degrees. Outside the circle, near the entrance, it is freezing. Outside the cave, it is 40 degrees below zero. You think about that contrast. You visualize the world outside. The glacier. It is out there, a few miles to the north. A wall of ice, a mile high, grinding the earth. It is blue and cold and indifferent. The wind blows off it, screaming across the snow. The woolly rhinoceros is out there, huddled in a ravine, its coat matted with ice. The cave lion is out there, prowling the ridges, looking for warmth. The trees are cracking in the frost. The entire world is locked in a deep freeze. But you have stolen a piece of the sun. You have brought the summer inside the mountain. You feel a profound sense of triumph. Not the triumph of a conqueror, but the triumph of a survivor. You have cheated the winter. You have built a nest that the ice cannot touch. You rub your hands together. The friction creates warmth, adding to the heat of the fire. You look at your skin. In the firelight, it looks bronze. It looks healthy. You are the keeper of the flame. This is the oldest job in humanity. Before there were kings, before there were priests, there was the fire keeper. The one who stayed awake. The one who added the wood. If the fire goes out, the cold comes in. If the fire goes out, the darkness wins. So you watch it. You tend it. It is a relationship. You feed the fire, and the fire feeds you warmth. You reach for a wooden bowl sitting near the hearth. It contains water you melted from snow earlier. It is warm now. You drink. The water tastes of smoke and minerals. It is clean. It hydrates you. You put the bowl down. You shift your position on the furs. You lie on your side, propped up on one elbow, looking into the coals. The fire is burning down. The tall, aggressive flames have lowered. Now, it is a bed of embers. This is the best part of the fire. The sleeping fire. The logs have turned into blocks of glowing red charcoal. They pulse. When a draft of air hits them, they brighten to yellow. When the air settles, they dim to a deep, dark cherry red. It looks like the breathing of a living creature. The heat is intense. It radiates in a steady infrared wave. It penetrates your clothes. It warms your bones. You feel your muscles loosening. The tension of the flint napping, the tight grip, the focus, the strike, it all melts away. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unclacks. Your legs stretch out. You are melting into the floor. The floor of the cave is not hard rock. It is covered in a layer of soft, sandy sediment, accumulated over centuries. And on top of that, you have laid the furs. The bedding. Let us appreciate the bed. The bottom layer is spruce boughs. You cut them yesterday. Branches of evergreen needles. They act as a spring mattress. They keep you off the ground. They smell of pine oil. The middle layer is mammoth hide. Thick, heavy leather with coarse hair. It is the insulation. It blocks the damp. The top layer, the layer you are lying on, is wolf or fox. Soft, dense fur. It tickles your cheek. It traps the air. You are sleeping in a nest of biology. You pull a heavy bison robe over you. It weighs 20 pounds. It presses you down. You are a sandwich of warmth. You look up at the ceiling of the cave. The smoke from the fire drifts up. It gathers in the hollows of the rock. It forms a blue haze. It finds the natural chimney, a crack in the limestone that leads up to the surface. The smoke flows out. It carries the scent of your camp out into the Arctic night. It is a signal. Life is here, but you are hidden. The entrance to the cave is small. It is blocked by a pile of rocks and brush you placed there earlier. A windbreak. The wind cannot get in. The snow cannot get in. You are in a time capsule. The rock around you is millions of years old. It has seen glaciers come and go. It has seen the oceans rise and fall. It is patient. It is stable. You feel the stability of the mountain. It holds you. You are inside the earth. You are like a bear in hibernation. The concept of time begins to dissolve. There are no clocks here. There is no schedule. There is only the lifespan of the log. You put one last piece of wood on the embers. A thick knot of oak. It will burn slow. It will last until morning. You watch it catch. The small blue flame flickers around the bark. You are satisfied. The system is working. Your eyelids feel heavy. The light of the fire is becoming a blur, a soft orange fog. You listen to the silence of the cave. It is a heavy silence. The wind outside is just a low vibration in the rock. Inside, there is only the click of the cooling stone and the hiss of the sap. You feel a connection to the ancestors, to the lineage of people who have sat by fires in caves. It is a chain of warmth stretching back to the beginning of time. You are part of that chain. You are the current link. You are safe. You feel a wave of drowsiness. It starts in your feet. Warm, heavy blood moving up your legs. It moves to your stomach, the center of gravity. It moves to your head. Your thoughts slow down. The image of the glacier fades. The image of the snow fades. There is only the ember, the glowing red eye of the fire. It watches you. It guards you. You turn away from the light. You face the wall. The shadow of your own body is cast against the stone. It is a large, soft shadow. You close your eyes. The after image of the fire remains on your retina, a purple spot in the darkness. It fades. Now there is only the velvet black, and the warmth, the incredible, life-sustaining warmth. You breathe in the wood smoke. It acts as a sedative. You are deep underground. You are buried in safety. The world above is frozen, but the world below is alive. You drift. You float on the heat. The fire crackles one last time. Pop. And then silence. Rest in the hearth. Rest in the glow. Sleep. Chapter 4. The Flint Napper. The fire is established. The yellow tongues of flame are licking at the dry birch logs, consuming the wood, releasing the solar energy stored within the tree for decades. The heat radiates outward, pushing back the damp chill of the cave, creating a hemisphere of warmth that encompasses you. You are sitting on the thick reindeer fur. The storm outside has become a distant, rhythmic droning, a backdrop to the intimacy of the shelter. You are warm. You are safe. But the hands of the prehistoric human are rarely idle. In a world without machines, your hands are the only technology you possess. And to survive, your hands need help. They need something harder than bone, sharper than a tooth, and more durable than wood. They need stone. You reach into your leather satchel. It is made of ibex hide, tough and scarred, tanned with oak bark. You pull out a heavy, dark object. The node. It is a lump of flint, or perhaps chert. It is the size of a grapefruit. On the outside, it looks like a rough, chalky potato. It has a cortex, a white limestone skin that hides the glass inside. It feels cold and heavy in your palm. It is a piece of the Earth's skeleton, formed millions of years ago in the sediment of a vanished ocean. You place it on your thigh, which is protected by a thick pad of leather. You adjust your seating position. You cross your legs. You ground yourself. You reach back into the bag. You pull out the striker, the hammerstone. This is a river stone, granite or quartzite. It is round, smooth, and incredibly dense. It fits perfectly into the curve of your right hand. It is scarred with thousands of tiny white marks from previous strikes. It is the tool that makes tools. We are going to engage in the oldest craft of humanity. Flint knapping. This is not a random banging of rocks. It is a game of physics. It is a game of angles and shock waves. It is a game of geometry played with geology. You inspect the core. You turn it over in your hands. You are looking for a platform, a flat surface where you can land a blow. You are reading the stone. You are looking for the grain, the flaws, the potential. You are looking for the tool that is hiding inside the rock, waiting to be released. You find a spot. You visualize the flake. You raise the hammerstone. You take a breath. You hold it. You strike. Click. It is a sharp, high-pitched sound. A sound of sudden violence contained in a single point. It is not a dull thud like wood. It is the singing of the earth. The hammerstone hits the edge of the platform. The energy transfers from your arm into the hammer, into the flint. A shock wave travels through the stone. It moves in a cone shape. A Hertzian cone. It moves faster than the eye can follow. The stone cannot resist the force. It yields. It fractures. Snap. A flake of flint flies off. It lands in the dust at your feet. You pick it up. You hold it to the firelight. It is beautiful. It is translucent at the edges, glowing with a smoky gray light. It has the shape of a shell, a conchoidal fracture. Ripples of force are frozen in the surface of the stone, like ripples in a pond where a pebble was dropped. But most importantly, it is sharp. You run your thumb carefully near the edge. You do not touch the edge itself. If you touched it, you would bleed. Freshly knapped flint is sharper than a surgical scalpel. It tapers down to a single molecule in width. It can cut through hide, through meat, through wood, with zero resistance. You have created an edge. You have created a knife where before there was only a rock. You put the flake aside. You return to the core. You strike again. Click. Another flake falls. Click. Another. This is the rhythm of the Pleistocene. Before the rhythm of the clock, before the rhythm of the engine, there was the rhythm of the stone. Strike. Turn. Assess. Strike. Turn. Assess. It is a slow, methodical process. It requires total concentration. You cannot think about the hunt tomorrow. You cannot think about the cold. You must think about the angle. Less than 90 degrees. If you hit too hard, the stone shatters. If you hit too soft, the stone bruises. If you hit at the wrong angle, the flake breaks in half. You must be precise. You are peeling the stone like a fruit. You are removing the outer skin, the white cortex, to reveal the high-quality glass inside. The pile of waste, the debitage, grows at your feet. Razor-sharp chips of stone. They tinkle when they fall on each other. A sound like broken glass. Tinkle. Clink. The smell of the work fills the air. It is a strange, distinct smell. When you strike flint against flint, it releases a scent of ozone. It smells like gunpowder. It smells like lightning. It smells like two heavy things colliding. It is the smell of friction. You are shaping the core into a specific tool. A hand axe. The teardrop shape. The almond shape. The biface. This is the multi-tool of the ancient world. It is the knife, the scraper, the chopper, the weapon. It is the object that allowed humanity to conquer the planet. You work around the edges. You create a jagged, zigzag line. But the hammerstone is too crude for the final work. It is too powerful. It removes thick, heavy flakes. You need something softer. You need finesse. You put down the riverstone. You pick up a piece of antler. The billet. It is the base of a reindeer antler. It is dense. but it has a slight give. It is organic. It absorbs some of the shock. It allows you to grab the edge of the stone and pull the flake off, rather than crushing it. This is soft hammer percussion. You hold the hand axe in your left hand. You hold the antler in your right. You strike the edge. Thock. The sound is different. It is duller, softer. It is a wooden sound, not a stony sound. A long, thin flake peels off the face of the axe. It travels halfway across the stone. This is thinning. You are making the tool light. You are making it streamlined. Thock. Peel. Thock. Peel. The motion is repetitive. It is soothing. You watch the object change. It stops looking like a lump of rock and starts looking like a piece of art. It has symmetry. It has balance. You turn it over and over. You look for the high spots, the lumps that need to be removed. You find a ridge. You set up the platform. You grind the edge slightly with a sandstone abrasive to strengthen it. You strike. The ridge disappears. The surface is smooth. You feel a profound sense of satisfaction. In the modern world, we are disconnected from the things we use. We buy a plastic knife from a store. We do not know where it came from. We do not know who made it. We do not know the chemistry of the plastic. But here, in the cave, you are the manufacturer. You are the engineer. You understand this object down to its atomic structure. You know every flaw. You know every curve. You hold the finished hand axe. It fits perfectly in your grip. It was made for your hand. It is an extension of your body. It is heavy, but balanced. It feels potent. With this tool, you can butcher a mammoth. You can sharpen a spear. You can cut branches for the fire. You can break open a bone for the marrow. You are no longer a defenseless animal shivering in the dark. You are a tool maker. You place the axe on the fur beside you. It gleams in the firelight. A masterpiece of grey stone. But the work is not quite done. You need a smaller tool, a scraper. You pick up one of the large flakes you knocked off earlier. It has a sharp edge, but it is too thin. It is brittle. It will break if you use it on heavy hide. You need to retouch it. You take a small tool, a pressure flaker. It is a piece of deer antler tine set into a wooden handle. It looks like a thick pencil. You hold the flake in your palm, protecting your hand with a piece of leather. You press the tip of the antler against the edge of the flint. You push hard, crunch. A tiny microscopic chip pops off. You move the antler a millimeter to the right. You push again, crunch. You are serrating the edge. You are making it steep and strong. This requires immense focus. You are working on the scale of millimeters. Your breathing slows down to a crawl. You breathe in. You push. You breathe out. The world narrows down to the point of the antler. The fire warms your back. The shadows dance on the cave wall. But you do not see them. You only see the edge. Push, chip, push, chip. You create a perfect, steep angle. This tool will be used to scrape the fat off hides, to make leather, to make clothes. It is a humble tool, but essential. You finish the scraper. You test the edge with your thumb. It bites. It creates a tiny line of friction on your skin. It is ready. You put the tools away. You place the hammerstone, the antler billet, and the pressure flaker back into the satchel. They clink together softly. Now, you must clean. The floor is covered in lithic scatter. Thousands of razor-sharp shards. The debris of creation. You cannot sleep here. You would cut yourself. You take a wing. A dried wing of a goose or a swan. It is a natural broom. The feathers are stiff and wide. You sweep the area around the fire. Swish, swish. You gather the sharp chips into a pile. You scoop them up with a piece of curved bark. You carry them to the back of the cave, to the waste pile. You return to the hearth. The The sand is clean. The workspace is clear. The craft is finished. You sit back on the furs. You stretch your arms. Your shoulders are stiff from the tension of the striking. You roll your neck. Crack. You feel the fatigue of the concentration. It is a mental tiredness. Your brain has been calculating angles and physics for hours. Now, it wants to stop. You look at the fire. It has burned down a little. The logs have broken apart, revealing a core of glowing red charcoal. You take a branch of dry pine. You toss it onto the coals. Hiss. Pop. Sparks fly up. The fresh wood catches. A bright yellow flame licks up, illuminating the cave roof. You watch the smoke rise. It curls and twists. It finds the draft. It flows along the ceiling of the cave toward the entrance. You follow it with your eyes. The smoke is gray. The rock is gray. You feel a sense of timelessness. This cave has been here for 1,000,000 years. The water carved it. The bears used it. Now you are using it. You are a guest in the mountain. You pick up the hand axe again, just to hold it. It is cold now, cooling down from the heat of your hands. It feels like a talisman, a symbol of order. You have taken the chaos of the rock, the raw nodule, and turned it into the order of the tool. You place it near your head, within easy reach. You settle into the furs. The reindeer skins are deep and soft. You sink into them. You are wearing a tunic of soft leather. It is warm. You feel the connection to the animals. The reindeer who gave the fur. The deer who gave the antler. The goose who gave the wing. You are surrounded by the gifts of the tundra. Outside, the wind is still blowing. You can hear it moaning through the cracks in the cliff face. It sounds lonely. It sounds cold. But the sound only makes the cave feel warmer. You are in the golden circle of the firelight. Beyond the light, the cave stretches back into the dark. Deep tunnels, underground rivers, secrets. But you do not need to explore them tonight. You stay in the light. You listen to the fire. Crackle, snap, hiss. It is speaking a language you understand. It is the language of safety. Your eyelids feel heavy. The light of the fire is becoming a blur. You watch the shadows on the wall. They flicker. They look like animals running, like mammoths, like bison, like deer. The first cinema. Your mind begins to drift. You think about the stone, the core, the flake, the edge. You visualize the shockwave traveling through the rock, a cone of force. It is a clean, perfect physics. Your thoughts become like the flakes. You detach them. Click. A worry falls away. Click. A plan falls away. Click. A memory falls away. You are napping your own mind. You are removing the cortex. You are revealing the core. The core is silence. The core is sleep. The fire is warm on your face. Your hands are relaxed. Your fingers curl, remembering the grip of the hammerstone. But the grip is loose now. You are holding nothing. You are just a body resting on the earth. The stone is hard, but the fur is soft. The contrast supports you. You breathe in the smell of the smoke and the dust. It is the smell of home. You are the first human. You are the last human. You are alone, and you are safe. The tool is made. The work is done. The stone sleeps. Rest in the cave. Rest in the craft. Sleep. Chapter 5. The fur and the needle. The stone tools are finished. The hand axe lies heavy and cold on the floor. The sharp flake scrapers are lined up, ready for use. The fire has settled into a steady, glowing rhythm, casting long, flickering shadows against the limestone walls of the cave. We have mastered the hard materials of the earth. We have cracked the rock. Now, we must master the soft materials. We must turn to the biological world. The Ice Age is a world of wind. It is a world where the air temperature drops to 40 degrees below zero. Skin alone is not enough. To survive, to sleep, to exist, you need a second skin. You need the fur. You turn away from the pile of stone chips. You turn toward the back of the cave, where the wooden drying rack stands. Draped over the frame is a hide. It is the skin of a reindeer. Rangifer tarandus. It is massive. It covers the frame completely. The fur is thick, dense, and grey-brown. It smells of the tundra. It smells of wild sage and musk. But before it can be a blanket, before it can be a coat, it must be worked. It must be tamed. You walk to the rack. You run your hand over the inside of the skin. It is stiff. It is like cardboard. If you tried to wear it now, it would chafe your skin. It would crack in the cold. You have to break it. You have to turn raw hide into buckskin. You have to turn stiff parchment into velvet. You take the stone scraper you made in the last chapter, the flint flake with the serrated edge. You kneel down. You begin the scraping. This is the rhythm of the afternoon. You press the stone edge against the inside of the hide. You push down. You pull it toward you. Scrape. A thin shaving of membrane comes off. Scrape. You are removing the fat. You are removing the inner layer of skin that would rot. You are cleaning the canvas. Push, drag, push, drag. The sound is a dry, rasping friction. It is a white noise, like the sound of sandpaper on wood. You work inch by inch. You start at the neck and work down to the tail. Your shoulders burn with the effort. It is hard physical labor, but it is mindless labor. You do not have to calculate angles like you did with the flint. You just have to push. Your mind drifts. You look at the hair on the other side of the hide. Reindeer hair is a miracle of evolution. It is hollow. Each individual hair is a tiny tube filled with air. Air is the best insulator. When you wrap yourself in this fur, you are wrapping yourself in millions of tiny air pockets. You are wearing a cloud. You finish the scraping. The skin is clean. It is white and smooth. But it is still stiff. To make it soft, you need chemistry. You need tanning. In the modern world, we use chrome and harsh chemicals. But here, in the Pleistocene, we use the animal itself. There is an old saying among the first peoples. Every animal has enough brains to tan its own hide. It is a literal truth. The brain of the animal contains emulsified fats and oils that are perfect for softening the collagen fibers in the skin. You have a wooden bowl. Inside is the mixture, brains and water, heated by a hot stone from the fire. It looks like a thick, gray soup. You rub this mixture into the skin. You use your hands. It is warm. It is oily. You massage it deep into the pores. Rub, knead, rub, knead. You work it in until the skin drinks it up, until the fiber is saturated with the oil. Now comes the breaking. You take the hide off the rack. You twist it. You wring it out like a wet towel. Then you stretch it. You pull it. You pull it until your arms shake. You pull it over a smooth wooden beam. Strietch. You are breaking the glue that holds the fibers together. You are separating them, coating them with the oil so they slide against each other. Slowly, the magic happens. The stiff, hard board transforms. It becomes white. It becomes floppy. It becomes soft. It turns into leather. You hold it up. It drapes over your arm like cloth. It is as soft as flannel. It smells of smoke and oil. You have created a textile. You feel a surge of pride. You have taken a dead thing and given it a new life, a life that will protect yours. You sit back on the furs. You wipe your hands. The fire pops. Snap. The cave feels cozier now. You are surrounded by the materials of warmth. But a loose skin is not enough. You need to shape it. You need to join it. You need the needle. You reach into your sewing kit. It is a small pouch made of a crane's neck. You pull out a sliver of bone. It is a splinter from the leg bone of a reindeer. You have ground it on a sandstone rock for hours. You rub it against the stone. Grind. 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 You shape it into a point, a needle sharp enough to pierce the tough hide. But the most difficult part is the eye. To drill a hole in a needle without metal is the height of Paleolithic technology. You use a tiny flake of flint, sharp as a diamond. You spin it between your fingers. Twist, twist, twist. You drill through the bone. You blow away the dust. You have an eye. You have a needle. Now, the thread. You do not use plant fibers. They rot. They break. You use sinew. The tendons from the back of the animal. The back strap. When it is dry, it looks like a hard, yellow stick. But when you pound it with a stone, it separates into fibers. You pull a fiber free. It is thin as a hair, but strong as steel wire. You put it in your mouth. You wet it with your saliva. It becomes soft. It becomes pliable. You thread the needle. Now, you begin to sew. You are making a tunic or a sleeping bag. You take 2 pieces of the soft white leather. You overlap them. You push the needle through. Push. It takes force. You use a small piece of leather, a thimble, to push the needle through. You pull the sinew tight. Zip. The sound of the thread pulling through the leather is a high, sharp whisper. Push, pull, tighten, push, pull, tighten. It is the rhythm of the grandmother, the rhythm of the hearth. For thousands of years, people have sat by fires, doing exactly this, fixing the clothes, preparing for the winter. It is a domestic peace. The storm is raging outside. The wind is howling like a wolf at the mouth of the cave. But inside, you are mending. You are creating. You watch the stitches form. A neat row of diagonal lines. The whip stitch. It seals the seam. It makes the garment windproof. You are building a wall against the weather, stitch by stitch. Your focus narrows. The world becomes very small, just the point of the needle and the hole in the bone. The firelight flickers on your work. It casts moving shadows on the white leather. You feel the heat of the fire on your face. You feel the cold draft from the cave entrance on your back. But you are not cold. You are wearing your work. You finish the seam. You tie a knot. You bite the sinew to cut it. You shake out the garment. It is a heavy, fur-lined parka. You put it on. The feeling is instant. The weight of the fur settles on your shoulders. It is heavy, but it is a good weight. A protective weight. The hollow hairs trap your body heat immediately. You feel a glow spreading across your skin. You pull the hood up. The fur trim tickles your face. It creates a tunnel of warmth around your eyes. You are sealed. You are a walking house. You sit back against the cave wall. You are encased in the animal. You think about the reindeer. It evolved to survive the blizzard. It evolved to stand on the ice sheet and not freeze. Now, you have borrowed its evolution. You have borrowed its survival. You feel a deep gratitude to the animal. You stroke the fur on your arm. It is soft. It is slick. You look at the other furs piled in the sleeping area. Bison, dark, shaggy, woolly, good for the ground. Bear, heavy, long, black, good for the top cover. Fox, soft, orange, delicate, good for the neck. You have built a nest. The concept of the nest is primal. Every animal builds one. Birds, mice, bears. It is a place where you can let your guard down. A place where you are hidden. The cave is the hard shell. The furs are the soft lining. You are the egg in the center. The work of the needle has made your eyes tired. It is close work. It requires sharp vision. Now, you let your eyes relax. You let them go out of focus. The flames of the fire blur into a soft, moving blob of orange light. You listen to the wind again. Woo! It sounds angry. It sounds hungry. But it cannot eat you. You are behind the rock. You are under the fir. You feel the connection to the lineage of tailors, to the lineage of makers. You did not just find shelter. You made it. You scraped the skin. You oiled it. You broke it. You sewed it. You earned this warmth. The satisfaction of the craft settles in your chest. You are capable. You are skilled. You are ready for the night. You take off the parka. You lay it down to be your pillow. It is thick and springy. You lie down on the bison robe. You pull the bearskin over you. The weight presses you into the floor. It creates a sensation of being held. Deep pressure therapy. The smell of the leather is strong. It smells of smoke and life. You close your eyes. You can still feel the rhythm of the scraping in your arms. Push, drag, push, drag. It echoes in your muscles, but now the muscles are softening. They are letting go of the tension. Your hands uncurl. The phantom needle drops from your fingers. You are no longer a maker. You are just a sleeper. The cave holds you. The fur holds you. The fire watches you. You drift, drifting back into the warmth of the first home. Rest in the leather. Rest in the stitch. Sleep. Chapter 6. The Gatherer. The needle has been put away. The sinew thread has been tied off and bitten clean. The heavy fur parka sits folded in the corner, a finished masterpiece of insulation. You are sitting by the fire. The work of protection is done. Now, the body turns its attention to a deeper need, the need for fuel. The cold of the Pleistocene is a thief. It steals calories from your body every second. To stay warm, to keep the internal furnace burning, you must feed it. You must stoke the biological fire. We often think of the caveman as a hunter. We imagine the spear, the mammoth, the chase. But the hunt is rare. The hunt is dangerous. The true engine of survival, the steady heartbeat of the tribe, is the gatherer. You are not hunting tonight. You are processing the harvest. You reach for a woven basket sitting in the cool shadows of the cave wall. It is a beautiful object. It is made of willow twigs and pine roots, coiled and stitched together so tightly that it can hold water. It smells of dried wood and sweetgrass. You pull it toward the firelight. Inside is the treasure of the autumn. Hazelnuts. Hundreds of them. Small, round, brown, hard-shelled beads. You gathered them months ago before the snow fell. You found the hazel bushes in the sheltered valleys. You competed with the squirrels and the jays. You filled your pockets. You filled your baskets. Now they are dry. They rattle when you shake the basket. Rattle, click, rattle, click. It is the sound of stored energy. You take a handful. They are smooth and cool. They feel like polished river stones. You need to open them. You do not use your teeth. That would break them. You use stone. You pull a flat rock toward you. This is the anvil. It is a slab of limestone with a small cup-shaped depression worn into the center from years of use. You take a smaller, round stone in your right hand. The hammer. You place a hazelnut in the depression. You raise the hammer. You bring it down. Crack. It is a sharp, satisfying sound. You do not smash it. You just crack the shell. You peel away the brown husk. Inside is the kernel, creamy white, wrinkled, rich in oil. You pop it into your mouth. You chew. It is sweet. It is fatty. It tastes of the forest. You crack another. Crack. Peel. Eat. Crack. Peel. Eat. This is the rhythm of the evening. It is a slow, meditative process. You cannot rush it. If you rush, you smash the kernel. You have to be gentle with the force. You fall into a trance. Lift, strike, open. The pile of empty shells grows at your feet. They look like little brown boats. You sweep them into the fire. They burn with a bright, crackling flame. Snap, snap, snap. The oil in the shells fuels the fire. Nothing is wasted. But nuts are just the appetizer. You need something substantial. You need grain. Even in the Ice Age, before farming, there was grain. Wild oats, wild barley, growing in the patches of tundra grass. You have a leather sack filled with these seeds. They are hard. They are covered in prickly husks. You cannot eat them raw. You have to transform them. You have to grind. You move to the back of the hearth. There sits a large, heavy stone. It is shaped like a saddle. It curves downward in the middle. The saddle quern. This is the first machine. You kneel before it. You pour a handful of the wild grains onto the stone. You pick up the rubbing stone. It is a loaf-shaped rock, flat on the bottom. You place your hands on the rubbing stone. You push it forward, crushing the grain against the saddle. Grind. The sound is loud. It is the sound of stone eating stone. It is a gritty, low-frequency rumble. You pull it back. Grind. Forward. Backward. Forward. Backward. You use the weight of your shoulders. You rock your body. This is the motion that defined human life for 10,000 years. The daily grind. You watch the grain. Under the pressure of the rock, the hard seeds shatter. The husks break open. The white starch inside is released. It turns into powder, flour. It is not the pure white flour of the factory. It is coarse. It is speckled with bran. It is gray-brown. But it is food. The smell of the crushed grain rises up. It smells dusty and sweet. It smells like a field in summer. You grind for an hour. Your arms get tired, but you keep going. The rhythm sustains you. Push and pull. Push and pull. You are unlocking the energy of the sun that was trapped in the plant. You finish. You have a small pile of coarse flour on the stone. You sweep it into a wooden bowl. Now, you become the chef. You need water. You take a ladle of water from the skin bag hanging by the entrance. You pour it into the flour. You mix it with your fingers. It feels cool and sticky. It turns into a paste, a dough. You knead it. You press it against the side of the bowl. You are making ash cakes. You shape the dough into small, flat discs. You look at the fire. You are looking for a specific tool. You are looking for a hot rock. You find a flat stone that has been sitting in the edge of the coals for hours. It is gray with heat. It is sterile. You use 2 sticks to pull the rock out of the fire. You set it on the sand. You place the dough discs onto the hot stone. Sizzle. The water in the dough hits the hot rock. Steam rises. The smell changes instantly. It stops smelling like raw dust and starts smelling like bread. It is the most comforting smell in human history, the smell of baking. It triggers a primal response in your brain. It says, you are going to be full. You watch the cakes. They puff up slightly. They turn brown on the bottom. You flip them with a stick. They toast on the other side. They are done. You take them off the rock. You let them cool for a moment. You pick one up. It is hot. You toss it from hand to hand. You take a bite. It is dense. It is chewy. It is gritty. There is always a little stone dust in the flour. But it is delicious. It tastes of smoke and nuttiness. You eat it slowly. You feel the food land in your stomach. It feels heavy. It feels solid. The warmth spreads from your belly to your chest, to your arms, to your legs. The digestive peace sets in. When the stomach is full, the brain can rest. The anxiety of survival fades away. You have succeeded. You have gathered. You have processed. You have cooked. You are fed. You drink the rest of the water. You wipe the crumbs from your hands. You lick your fingers. You sit back against the cave wall. The fire is settling down. The cooking is over. The flames lower, returning to the state of glowing coals. You look around the cave. You see the basket of nuts, the sack of grain, the pile of furs, the stack of firewood. You are rich. In the Paleolithic world, wealth is not gold. Wealth is calories. Wealth is heat. You have enough. You feel a profound sense of gratitude. Gratitude to the hazel bush. Gratitude to the grass. Gratitude to the reindeer. Gratitude to the stone. They have all given parts of themselves to keep you alive. You feel connected to the web of life. You are not separate from the tundra. You are made of it. Your eyelids start to droop. The heavy meal is pulling you down. You watch the shadows flicker on the ceiling. They look like slow-moving clouds. The wind outside is still howling, but it sounds distant. It sounds like a memory of wind. You are deep inside the earth. You arrange your bed. You fluff the spruce boughs underneath the skins. You smooth out the bison robe. You lie down. You curl up on your side. The fetal position. The position of conservation. You pull the furs up over your ear. The fur tickles your cheek. It is soft. You can hear your own heartbeat in your ear, pressed against the pillow. Thump, thump, thump. It is a slow, strong beat. It is the drum of your life. You think about the nut, hard shell on the outside, soft meat on the inside. You are the nut. The cave is your shell. The furs are your shell. You are the soft, living center, protected, hidden, waiting for the spring. You let go of the tension in your hands, the hands that cracked the nuts, the hands that ground the stone. They are open now. They are empty. You let go of the tension in your jaw, the jaw that chewed the hard bread. You let your tongue fall away from the roof of your mouth. You breathe in the wood smoke. It is the incense of sleep. You are sinking into the floor of the cave, sinking into the history of the earth. You are a fossil of peace. The fire watches you. The stone holds you. The gathering is done. Rest in the fullness. Rest in the warmth. Sleep. Chapter 7. The Cave. Painting. The meal of ash cakes and hazelnuts is finished. The hunger that gnawed at your belly has been silenced. The fire has burned down to a gentle, pulsing bed of coals, casting a warm, dim light across the floor of the shelter. The physical work of the day is done. You have secured warmth. You have secured food. You have secured tools. The animal needs of the body are met. Now, in the quiet space between eating and sleeping, a different need arises. The need of the mind. The need to leave a mark. You stand up from the furs. You pick up a small stone lamp. It is a simple object, a hollowed-out piece of sandstone filled with rendered reindeer fat. A wick of dried moss floats in the grease. You light it from the main fire. Flicker. A small yellow flame jumps to life. It smells of burning tallow. It is a smoky, heavy scent, but it is the scent of illumination. You turn away from the hearth. You turn toward the back of the cave. The main chamber is comfortable, but it is not the place for the spirits. For that, you must go deeper. You walk into the shadows. The floor slopes upward. The ceiling comes down. You have to stoop. The air gets cooler here. It gets stiller. The sound of the wind outside is completely gone. You are entering the zone of absolute silence. You are entering the gallery. The walls of the cave here are smooth. They are made of pale limestone, white as bone, damp with the moisture of the mountain. You hold up the lamp. The light dances on the rock. You are looking for a canvas. You find a section of wall that is clean and flat. It curves slightly, like the flank of a great beast. You kneel down. You place the lamp on a ledge. You open your paint kit. It is a collection of hollow bird bones, shells, and leather pouches. You take out a lump of red ochre, hematite, iron oxide, the blood of the earth. It is a soft, crumbly rock. You found it in a riverbed miles away. You carried it here for this moment. You place it on a flat stone pallet. You take a grinder stone. You begin to crush the ochre. Grind, grind, grind. It turns into a fine red powder. It looks like rust. It looks like fire. You catch the scent. It smells metallic. It smells of iron and deep soil. Now, you need a binder. You need a liquid to turn the dust into paint. You take a dab of animal fat from the lamp. Or perhaps you use water or saliva. You mix it with the powder. Stir. Mix. It becomes a thick, red paste. It is vibrant. In the dim light of the cave, it looks alive. It glows. You dip your finger into the paint. It is cool and greasy. You turn to the wall. You are going to paint the bison. You do not paint it to capture it. You paint it to honor it. You look at the shape of the rock. There is a bulge in the limestone. A rounded protrusion. In the flickering lamplight, it already looks like the shoulder of a bison. You use the rock. You let the rock tell you where the animal is. You trace the line of the back. Swipe. A bold red line. You trace the curve of the belly. Swipe. You draw the legs, short and powerful. You draw the horns, curved and sharp. You are not drawing a cartoon. You are drawing the memory of the animal. You know its anatomy better than you know your own. You have skinned it. You have eaten it. You have worn it. You feel the spirit of the bison entering the room. It is a heavy, peaceful presence. You fill in the body. You use a pad of fur to dab the paint. Or you use your fingers to smudge it, creating shading and depth. The animal emerges from the stone. It looks like it is walking out of the wall into the cave. The firelight makes it move. The shadows ripple across the painting. The bison breathes. You step back. You wipe your red fingers on your thigh. It is good. But you are not done. You want to sign your work. You want to say, I was here. I existed. You are going to make a hand stencil. This is the most universal act of the human species. From France to Indonesia to Argentina, we have all done this. You take a hollow bird bone, a tube. You put a little bit of the red powder into your mouth. It tastes like dirt. It tastes like iron. You mix it with saliva. You place your left hand against the wall. You spread your fingers wide. You press your palm flat against the cold, damp stone. You feel the texture of the rock. It is millions of years old. It absorbs your warmth. You hold the bone tube to your lips. You aim it at your hand. You blow. Pfft. A fine spray of red pigment flies out. It covers your hand. It covers the rock around your hand. You blow again. Pfft. Between the fingers. Around the thumb. Around the wrist. You feel the cool mist of the paint settling on your skin. It tickles slightly. You wait a moment. Then you pull your hand away. There, on the wall, is the negative image of your hand. A white hand floating in a cloud of red. It is a ghost. It is a perfect record of your existence. The length of your fingers, the shape of your thumb. You look at it. It looks like it is waving at you, waving from the other side of the stone. You feel a profound connection, not just to the bison, but to time itself. This mark will last. The ochre stains the rock. It bonds with the calcite. 10,000 years from now, another human might walk into this cave. They might hold up a light. They will see the bison. They will see the hand. They will put their own hand up to the wall, hovering over yours. They will see that it fits. They will know that you were here. They will know that you were human, that you felt the cold, that you felt the hunger, that you felt the awe. It is a message sent across the deep time. You sit down on the floor of the gallery. The lamp is burning low. The red paint on the wall is drying. It turns from a wet, shiny blood red to a matte, earthy rust. You look at the other paintings on the wall. You are not the first artist here. There are faint outlines of deer. There are charcoal drawings of lions. There are dots and lines, codes whose meanings have been lost. The cave is a tapestry of dreams. Generations of your clan have come here. Your father, your grandmother, people whose names you do not know. They all stood here. They all blew the paint. You are part of a long, unbroken chain of survival. You feel a sense of belonging. The cave is not just a shelter for the body. It is a shelter for the soul. It keeps the memories safe. The silence here is heavy. It presses against your ears. It is the hum of the earth. You feel the weight of the mountain above you, tons of rock. But it is not crushing you. It is protecting you. The gallery is a secret room, a safe deposit box. You gather your tools. You put the ochre back in the pouch. You pick up the bone tube. You pick up the lamp. You take one last look at your handprint. The signature. You nod to it. You turn around. You walk back toward the entrance of the gallery. The tunnel widens. You see the glow of the main fire ahead. It looks warm and inviting. You step back into the main chamber. The heat hits you. The smell of the wood smoke replaces the smell of the damp stone. The contrast is comforting. You have returned from the spirit world to the living world. You walk to the water skin. You wash your hands. The red paint washes away. The water turns pink. Your hand is clean again, but the mark on the wall remains. You sit back down on your furs. You feel a deep sense of satisfaction. You have added to the cave. You have decorated your home. You look at the walls of the main chamber. They are dancing with shadows. The fire is the animator. You feel the fatigue of the artist. It is different from the fatigue of the hunter. It is a quiet, internal tiredness. Your mind is empty. You have poured your thoughts onto the wall. Now, you can rest. You rearrange the bison robe. You fluff the pillow of fur. You lie down. You are tired. Your eyes close. In the darkness of your mind, you can still see the red hand. It floats there. It is a symbol of safety. Stop. Protection. Human. You feel the connection to the rock. You are the rock. You are heavy. You are still. The wind outside is just a memory. You are deep inside the mountain, inside the art, inside the sleep. Rest in the gallery, rest in the paint. Sleep. Chapter 8. The Clan. You walk back from the deep recesses of the cave. The red handprint is drying on the wall behind you, a secret left for the future. You step out of the shadows of the gallery and back into the main chamber. The atmosphere here has changed. Earlier it was a place of industry. The click of flint, the scrape of hides, the cracking of nuts. It was a workshop. But now it is a dormitory. It is a nest. The fire has burned down to a low, steady pulse. The flames are gone, replaced by a mound of glowing charcoal that breathes heat into the room. The smoke drifts lazily toward the ceiling, forming a soft blue canopy. You are not alone. The clan is here. In the modern world, we value privacy. We build walls. We sleep in separate rooms, in separate beds, sometimes in separate houses. We isolate ourselves. But in the Ice Age, privacy is death. Isolation is freezing. Here, survival is a collective act. Heat is a shared resource. You look at the group gathered around the hearth. There are perhaps 20 people, men, women, children, elders. They are not scattered around the cave. They are huddled together. They form a tight, cohesive circle, a living wall of fur and flesh. You walk toward them. You step into the circle. There is a space waiting for you, a gap in the furs. You sit down. The feeling of entering the group is physical. It is a wave of warmth, the body heat of 20 humans trapped by the heavy bison robes creates a tropical microclimate. You feel the shoulder of the person next to you pressing against your arm. It is a solid, reassuring pressure. It grounds you. You look around the circle. The faces are illuminated by the dying firelight. They are calm. There is no anxiety here. There is no arguing. The work of the day is done, and the bellies are full. You look at the elder, the grandmother. She sits nearest the fire. Her face is a map of the tundra, wrinkled, weathered, tanned by 1,000 suns. Her eyes are closed. She is the keeper of the memory. She remembers the way to the summer hunting grounds. She remembers the plants that heal. She remembers the stories of the ancestors. She is humming. It is a low, vibratory sound. It is not a song with words. It is a drone. She is rocking slightly back and forth. This sound is the anchor of the tribe. It signals that everything is in order. If there were danger, she would be silent. Since she is humming, you are safe. You listen to the hum. It resonates in your chest. It matches the frequency of the fire. You look at the children. They are asleep already. They are piled together in the center of the group, like a litter of puppies. They are tangled in furs. You can see a small foot sticking out, a hand clutching a piece of dried moss. Their breathing is fast and shallow. Puff, puff, puff. They are the future, and they are warm. The adults surround them. You are the shield wall. You watch a mother grooming her child's hair. This is a primal instinct. Social grooming. She uses her fingers. She combs through the dark, tangled hair. She picks out a piece of burr. She smooths the strands. Stroke. Stroke. The motion is rhythmic and gentle. It releases oxytocin, the hormone of bonding, in both of them. You feel a phantom sensation of hands smoothing your own hair. It is a soothing, tingling feeling on the scalp. The connection between the members of the clan is not spoken. It is tactile. A hand resting on a knee. A back leaning against a back. A head resting on a shoulder. It is a web of touch. You realize that you are part of a single organism. The clan is the creature. You are just a cell. This thought is incredibly relaxing. You do not have to be an individual tonight. You do not have to make decisions. You do not have to be strong on your own. The clan is strong. You lean back. You find a comfortable position against a pile of furs. You look at the hunters, the men who walked the glacier edge today. They are exhausted. Their heads are nodding. Their heavy hands rest on their thighs. They have put down their spears. The flint points are covered in leather sheaths. The hunt is over. The mammoth is far away. Now, they are just sleepers. You feel the drowsiness spreading through the group. It is contagious. When you see someone else yawn, you yawn. When you see someone else's eyes close, yours want to close. It is a collective shutdown. The conversation has died away. Earlier there were murmurs, plans for tomorrow, stories of the track. But now, language has been abandoned. There is no need for words. The fire pops, snap. A shower of sparks rises. Everyone watches them. 20 pairs of eyes tracking the orange lights as they float up into the dark. It is a shared vision. You pull your bison robe tighter around you. You feel the warmth of the person to your left. You feel the warmth of the person to your right. You are part of the human pile. This is how we survived the Ice Age. Not just with fire, but with huddling. We shared our heat. We became a battery. There is a profound sense of safety in this contact. If a predator came to the cave entrance, a cave lion or a wolf, it would not see a single, vulnerable human. It would see a mass, a giant, breathing, fire-lit wall. It would turn away. You are invincible together. The elder stops humming. She sighs. She wraps her shawl around her head. She lies down. This is the signal. The circle begins to dissolve into sleep. The sitting figures become lying figures. The group flattens out. You slide down. You find your pillow, the folded parka. You lie on your side. You are facing the back of the cave, but you can feel the heat of the fire on your back. You listen to the breathing of the clan. It settles into a rhythm. In, out. It sounds like the ocean, a tide of breath. Some breathe deep and slow, some breathe light and fast, but they weave together into a white noise of life. It is the most comforting sound a human can hear, the sound of other humans sleeping peacefully. It means there is no threat. You close your eyes. You imagine the cave from the outside. The limestone cliff is dark. The snow is driving against the rock. The wind is screaming at 40 miles an hour. The temperature is deadly. But deep inside the rock, there is a glowing heart, a pocket of 60 degrees, a pocket of life. You are in that pocket. You think about the timeline. Your ancestors sat in this cave. Your descendants will sit in this cave. You are part of a long, unbroken chain of survival. You do not have to carry the torch alone. You just have to keep it burning for tonight. And tonight, the fire is good. The coals are deep. You feel the weight of the bison robe pressing you into the earth. You feel the floor of the cave supporting the clan. The earth holds you. The group holds you. Your individuality melts away. You are no longer you. You are us. You are the clan. And the clan is sleeping. The sentry at the mouth of the cave sits wrapped in furs, watching the snow. He is awake. He has a spear. He is watching for you. Because he is watching, you can let go. You drift deeper into the warmth. The smell of the wood smoke, the smell of the furs, the smell of the family. It surrounds you. It is the atmosphere of safety. Rest in the circle. Rest in the huddle. Sleep. Chapter 9. The deep time. The humming of the elder has faded into the rhythm of her breathing. The clan is asleep. The tight circle of humanity has relaxed, limbs uncurling, heads resting heavily on the furs of the bison and the bear. The collective chest of the tribe rises and falls in a slow, oceanic tide. You are the last one awake. You are lying on the edge of the circle, wrapped in your reindeer skin. You are warm. You are comfortable. But you are watching the end of the day. You are watching the fire die. The fire has been your companion for hours. It cooked your food. It dried your clothes. It kept the shadows at bay. But now its work is done. It is tired. The flames have vanished. There is no more yellow dancing light. There is only the bed of coals. It is a mound of pulsing red heat. You watch it. A draft of air from the cave entrance blows over it. The coals brighten for a second, glowing a fierce, hot orange. Then the air settles, and they dim to a deep, blood red. It breathes. Glow. Dim. Glow. Dim. It is the heartbeat of the cave. But the beat is slowing down. A layer of grey ash is forming over the redness. It looks like snow. It creeps over the coals, turning the fire into a ghostly landscape of grey and white. The light in the cave is fading. The walls are receding into the gloom. The stalactites on the ceiling are disappearing into the black void above. The world is shrinking. It shrinks down to the circle of the hearth, then to the coals, then to a single spark. You feel the change in the air. The intense, roasting heat of the cooking fire has mellowed. Now, It is a gentle, ambient warmth. The stone floor has absorbed the heat all evening, and now it radiates it back up into your body. You are lying on a heated rock. You look toward the entrance of the cave. The pile of rocks and brush you built, the windbreak, is a dark silhouette. You cannot see the snow anymore. You cannot see the glacier. You listen. The wind has died. The storm that raged for hours has blown itself out. The howling has stopped. There is a profound silence outside. The silence of deep snow. When snow falls thick and heavy, it dampens the world. It absorbs sound. The world outside is wrapped in white cotton, and you are wrapped in stone. You think about the concept of deep time. In the modern world, we measure time in seconds, minutes, hours. We worry about being late. We worry about tomorrow morning. But here, in the Pleistocene, time is not a clock. Time is geology. You touch the wall of the cave next to you. This limestone was formed 300 million years ago. It was once a coral reef in a tropical ocean. Tiny creatures lived and died to make this stone. Then the earth moved. The continents drifted. The seabed was pushed up to become a mountain. Then the rain fell. For 1,000,000 years, the water trickled through the cracks, dissolving the rock, carving out this room. This room was waiting for you. It waited through the ages of the dinosaurs. It waited through the ages of the mammals. It waited for you to walk in, strike a spark, and lie down. You are a brief moment in the life of the cave. A flicker. This thought is not scary. It is comforting. It means that your worries are small. Your stress is temporary. The mountain is big. The mountain is permanent. You can lean on the mountain. It can take your weight. You look back at the fire. The last red eye is closing. The ash has covered it. The light goes out. Total darkness. In the modern world, we never experience true darkness. There is always a street lamp, a clock radio, a standby light on a television. But here, the darkness is absolute. It is a physical substance. It fills the cave like water. You hold your hand up in front of your face. You cannot see it. You are invisible. You feel a sense of freedom. If you cannot be seen, you do not have to perform. You do not have to hold your face in a certain expression. You do not have to hold your posture. You can dissolve. You are just a consciousness floating in the void. But you are not lost. You know exactly where you are. You are in the center of the earth. You feel the presence of the clan around you. You cannot see them, but you can hear them. You can smell them. The scent of wood smoke and warm fur is a tether. You are not alone in the dark. You snuggle deeper into the reindeer skin. You pull the fur up over your nose. You breathe in the warm air trapped inside the bedding. Your body begins to shut down. The winter sleep is taking over. In the Ice Age, humans slept more. In the winter, when the nights were long, they slept for 12, 14 hours. They hibernated. They rebuilt their bodies. They repaired their minds. You are entering that hibernation state. Your heart rate slows. Thump, thump, thump. It matches the slow rhythm of the earth. Your breathing becomes shallow. You do not need much oxygen. You are in stasis. You think about the glacier outside. It is moving. Inches a year. Grinding the mountains down. It is a slow, unstoppable force. You imagine your sleep is like the glacier. Heavy, white, slow. It is sliding over you, burying your thoughts, smoothing out the landscape of your mind. The memories of the day, the cold wind, the hard stone, the sharp flint, they are being covered by the snow of sleep. They are gone. You feel the connection to the animal. The bear sleeping in the den. The ground squirrel sleeping in the burrow. The fish sleeping under the ice. The whole world is pausing. You are part of the pause. There is nothing you need to do until the spring. And the spring is months away. You have time, oceans of time. You sink deeper. The stone floor feels softer now. It feels like a cloud. The darkness feels warmer. It feels like velvet. You are drifting down through the layers of the cave, past the floor, past the roots of the mountain, into the magma, into the core. You are grounded. You are heavy. You are still. The fire is out. The work is done. The cave keeps the secret. Rest in the deep time. Rest in the dark. Sleep.